right, everybody, welcome back to Greedos Goldmine, your most bipolar toy community on all the interwebs. And today we're going to do some cooking for the new year and use some of what we have left given the situation. And what is it going to be? It's going to be a seafood blend fettuccine with a Rosatella pasta sauce. So what are the ingredients? From Trader Joe's. It's probably backwards due to the camera that I'm using. But Rosatella pasta sauce, which is like a creamy tomato that will heat up towards the end. Also from Trader Joe's, it was in our freezer, a seafood blend, and this one has shrimp calamari and bay scallops. So this is going to be our Greedos Goldmine cast iron kitchen. What we put in the cast iron skillet, of course, we'll fry that up with some olive oil. And we'll use our favorite seasoning blend, some black pepper, onion powder, seasoning salt, a little bit of smoked paprika, and some garlic powder. So that's going to be our seafood blend. In fact, I'll probably put those over here since we're going to be cooking right here on the stove. We got our strainer for the pasta. Pasta water's already boiling-ish. We're gonna get there, do things in due course. But first things first, we wanna get this seafood going. So we're gonna put a little bit of olive oil in our cast iron skillet. Roll up our sleeves a little bit for this. And get to cooking. Basically, I'm going to need to cut this open, so I got to find my trusty scissors over here. There we go. As I knock over the fettuccine. So, first things first, we're going to cut open the bag of seafood and start heating up the cast iron skillet just to get that oil nice and warm for these guys, because being that they're frozen, I have a feeling they're gonna pop and splatter a little bit, but that's part of the adventure. We're gonna live and learn together, as they say, so we're gonna need a spatula for that. While we wait for this to happen, we're gonna open our Rosatella, I wanna say Rotadella for some reason, pasta sauce, and put it back here in the small pan that we have, or a small pot on the back burner, just to heat up before we mix it all together at the end. So just to have things ready to go. Nice. So there's our pasta sauce. Let's throw this away and get it out of the area for us. When it comes to our fettuccine, we always do it pretty much precisely at 13-minute mark. So when it comes to that step, we'll get there in due time. But we're going to start on the seafood blend. So it's starting to feel nice and warm. So let's add in everything. Maybe add a little more olive oil to it. Just to really get things frying up. And basically it covers a nice flat coating across the entire pan. At this point, we can zoom in to see what's going on here. Still waiting on that pasta water a little bit, but not the biggest deal on the planet. These are gonna smell wonderful as they cook up. So we're gonna start seasoning these just to make sure that some seasoning salt to start. A little bit of pepper. Pepper's not my favorite, to be fair, so I only tend to go with a little bit of it. but we are going to go with a lot of garlic powder. You can really smell that garlic as it already starts to cook in. Some onion powder. And a little bit of paprika. Now that those are all in, we're going to give that a nice stir. Make sure those seasonings get all over everything. That smells really good already. So it's definitely thawing out nicely. Again, we have nice even coverage of the pan. Waiting on our water still as we do that. Right as I put them in, I like to snap the fettuccine in half so they're easier to deal with once you get to the eating process. But I'm gonna put a little more of all the seasonings. That way I can really get that smell. There we go. And actually, we could be a little fancy here tonight. Let's do this on the go as we cook. I remember that we have, as quinoa falls, a white cooking wine that was never used, so why not? Why not? We've never used a white cooking wine before. Oh, and the pasta probably cover to get it to boil the rest of the way. I would do things like the Family Reunification Fund came to mind with my hardships while cooking this and just thinking about what could happen. I like to think when I cook sometimes, so that silence was sort of meant to be one of those moments of reflection and see as we go what comes of it. But you know, this is looking really good at this point between that white wine that's added all the seasonings and everything else. Here, let's take a look at this wonderful getup. See, has just in a moment of lapse where I was looking at this with a lot of thankfulness, knowing what's coming food-wise. This is going to be a delicious way to start the new year. So we're doing this seafood together since it's the cast iron part. But yeah. Like I said, I don't know exactly what I'm doing here, but we're learning it together. water is still nearing a boil, but it's almost there. We could probably give that a little more heat. This seafood definitely smells like it's going to be pretty amazing. You can smell the white wine, the garlic. Maybe add even a little more of the white wine in. That is cooking with love, as they say. So let's get our spices now that we've gotten that all together. Put back away. Let that boil off some. And really make sure those things are cooked properly. I feel like it's almost done, but it smells nice, and you can smell the seafood and all the flavors and all the, this is gonna be good. This was a good idea for our New Year's get up. Ooh, and I'm thinking this might even be one to split half-half. Just try with that sauce stuff alone that's sort of forming from the mixture of the water, oil, and white wine that these things are pretty much cooking in at this point. Yeah, this is looking good. Let's take another zoom in real quick and see what we've got. And if you were standing here just smelling this, taking it in, you would be incredibly hungry, just like myself at this point. All right. And we got our water boiling too now, so we can add that all to the equation. Put that there for a slight second. And usually when I do this, I break them up to boil them. I do it half a box at a time just to make it a reasonable task. And we're gonna go 13 minutes, pretty much exactly, on the fettuccine. Keep it to boiling. And we're gonna keep watching these. Get the little stragglers that are still left over. This is smelling awesome. We're making sure to keep it spread out. nice and flat on the pan so that everything just keeps cooking in that little bits of sauce that we have. We probably didn't even need that sauce there in retrospect, but we'll use it still tonight. We just might eat the seafood separate to the pasta. All right, and I think we're pretty good on these seafood. They look nice and well cooked. We got that flavor coming. We don't want to cause any big fires. This looks like a success, so let's check this out real quick here now that we're done with the seafood. So that looks and smells delicious. We're gonna let that cool a slight bit. But while the pasta goes, since that's kind of boring step, I'm gonna just basically tend to the pasta and the sauce, and we'll come right back when it's time to fix everything together. So stay tuned, everybody. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. While the pasta boils, why not cheat a little bit and try out each of these different things we cooked? So we've got shrimp to start off with. So the shrimp look really well done. They're nice and steamy. The flavor on that sauce is really good. The texture is perfect. Nice and fresh. You get elements of all the different spices that were used, but not in a way that's off or overpowering on any one of them. It tasted about as good as it smelled cooking, which was absolutely phenomenal. Now we've got the sea scallop. Again, looks really good on the outside, nice and steamy. Texture's perfect, cooked through. Seamus is smelling it too. He wants to try some, we'll let him have some. All right, and now we got the calamari. So again, nice and steamy. Texture's good, it's not rubbery, not too tough. Definitely cooked through. That seasoning blend and that white wine sauce are simply phenomenal. And the last one, I can't remember what the fourth blend was now. We'll have to go back and see. That's just the lupus kicking in. But what was it? So yeah, we did a really good job on that. It'll add and complement the pasta really, really well. So now we just gotta cook the pasta for 6 more minutes roughly. Get the sauce heated up for the pasta, and we'll be right back, folks. Like I said, don't go anywhere. All right, everybody, welcome back. It is about time to take care of the pasta water. We'll be done with that in just a minute here for pretty much perfect al dente texture. So I always like to grab these things just in case the handles are hot still. We'll put the second one on once our alarm goes off. But yeah, we're gonna also heat up the back pot with the tomato cream sauce for the pasta itself. And once we get the pasta drained, we're gonna mix those two together with the pasta spoon, just so that, oh, where is it? Yep, that one is gonna be our side basically. No garlic bread tonight, unfortunately. Just didn't think about it. I used all the bread for peanut butter snacks, and all the peanut butter. Yeah, got used to that stuff a little bit in jail, too much. All right, so there we have it. That is our pasta. So I'm gonna go right quickly over to the sink and drain it off camera. Oops, as it drips a little bit. I was always bad about that. Fettuccine. Put that in there. Get our sauce spoon, which I believe I saw over here too. So that we can make sure this gets heated nice and evenly, doesn't burn. We're just gonna leave that there and watch it get a little bubbly, basically start boiling itself, just so we know it's nice and warm and hot. And yeah, I'm already gonna start enjoying some of these. These are the seafood blend. That came out absolutely amazing. That's gonna be delicious with this meal. I'll see if I can save a portion of it for tomorrow, but I'm not so sure. This might be just a one and done. This is so delicious kind of meal, and hey, might be one of our last cooking videos depending on how things go too, so we're trying to make the best of this new year and start as happy as possible given all the challenges and I don't know what to do kind of things other than hope to go viral somehow. Living on a prayer, right? Speaking of which, this Sunday I need to go see the big guy if possible as well. Have to go find a church to do that, preferably a Lutheran one, being that that's what I already am, but I'm open to anything that's reasonable in the area. I just know that it was a promise I made upon getting out of jail and having my car back and finally have that whole deal taken care of. So cost me way too much, unfortunately, and put me in this position, but that's already starting to steam up, which is good. So gonna get the bubbling going as it starts to boil a little bit. Okay, we got that. So you'll see once we get that part going, it's gonna bubble and, you know, it's boiling. So we'll let it do that for another minute or so. It's already thick sauce, so you don't want to lose too much of it and make it too thick, but you just want to make it nice and creamy again from what comes out of the bottle, basically. Probably to make this on your own from scratch, you would just take tomato sauce and heavy whipping cream, is my guess, add a little bit of seasoning to it, and that's pretty much what this is, and it seems to be done. So we're going to add this directly from there into the pasta. Try to make as little of a mess as possible, but okay, we got that. Have some dishes to do tonight, but voila, that is our fettuccine with the Rosatella or Rosatella sauce, whichever I said earlier. I'm forgetting the words without everything in front of me at this point, but let's grab ourselves a bowl. Serve up some food and try this out. This looks amazing, and it's going to feed me for a couple meals during this week for sure on the pasta as we start to figure our life out. So ooh. All right, we're gonna shuffle over a tiny bit here so that we can sit down and enjoy this fine little get up. So we've got our seafood blend, which is at least scallops, calamari, and shrimp from what I can tell. And I knew there was a fourth one, but at this point, I'm drawing a blank on what it is. Mussels, maybe. And then we've got our pasta with the creamy tomato sauce. So let's try this pasta out now that it's done and it's fresh, and see how... A little bit of a sweetness to the sauce, but you have that tomato, that creaminess, that Italian seasoning blend. The pasta is perfectly al dente. This is a fine pairing. So whether it be the calamari, oh, another calamari, mussels, scallops, or shrimps, you can't go wrong with this blend. If they were put together, they would perfectly complement each other and probably add even more flavor to the pasta. And for the second round, or what's left over, I think I'm going to end up doing that. But yeah, this was definitely a successful kitchen outing for our cast iron skillet sub-series. So if it's the only one we get to do this year because of hardships or whatever, we went out on a bang at least, and that's what counts. So I'm going to get to enjoying what's left of this meal, but until the next one, everybody, thanks for tuning in as always to another Greedo's Goldmine. We hope you enjoyed and learned something new in the kitchen from this one. And yeah, until the next one, Happy New Year, wherever you are on this planet. Thanks for tuning in again as always, and we'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe out there, folks, and Happy New Year again.